Hi everyone, I'm Jeannie Nielsen. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube as Jeannie Nielsen, the Card Lady, and I am working in conjunction with my upline, Marilyn San Clemente, and my sideline, Kathy Bedell, to bring you some of the fabulous suites available in their brand new annual catalog. This is an idea book as well as a catalog because it is so chock full of ideas of ways you can use the suites. I hope you've been enjoying this catalog. On page 104 and 105 in this catalog, we have the hand pen suite. I love this suite. Now, some people would say it's not my kind of suite because it's too artistic. The lines don't meet. It's so random, it's not exact. And I do agree. I am one that likes clean corners, clean cuts. So this is a tiny bit hard for me, but on the other hand, once I started stamping with it, I've loved it. It's like a watercolor, and I wish I could paint watercolor. So this is my version of painting watercolor. In the suite, we've got fabulous designer paper, and it is so pretty. On the one side are 6 floral designs. On the other side are 6 designs, and I will show you that in just a second. You have the genial gems. I've been calling them genie gems because they're named after me, so to speak. Anyway, these genial gems are like a green and almost like a peachy color. Really, really pretty. Great to accent the cards. And I did use them on one of my cards, and you'll see that in just a minute. We've got this beautiful stamp set. It's got really pretty scripted sentiments down here at the bottom. We've got 2 different images, and then all here, actually there's 3 images, I should say, because this one, this dandelion or Queen Anne's lace is also one, which has a matching die. In here, these flowers and leaves will kind of fill in quite a bit of these different images, and I'll show you that in just a second. I keep my dies on a magnetic plate in my stamp case. We've got these great dies, and this one is even, you're going to see this almost cuts out like an overlay type of die cut. This is a really nice scalloped border, makes a really nice edging for a card. I'm going to show you my tool that I put together, this sampler, and it just shows you the different patterns. And like I said, there's 6 different floral patterns, and then there's kind of random designs, the polka dots, which I love. This pink is very pretty. I love the green stripes, and of course I love my purple. It's all very pretty. You could do this scallop either facing this way or this way. Such a pretty color. These are the colors, and there are a bunch of colors, as you can see. In the catalog, under the suite, it shows you a bar of the different colors. You can also find the colors on the back of the designer paper packages. It'll list them all. Of course, these are only suggested colors, and that doesn't mean that you can't pull out other colors from here. Mint macaron was a big one, and I, for a long time, thought that it was our new soft succulent. So you could probably do that as well. You've got your garden green, you got your pool party. So those are your greens and blues. You've got Misty Moonlight, another blue. I believe this would look really, really nice with Pacific Point as well, although I didn't try it. Night of Navy would probably match really well. You've got your Daffodil Delight, and you've got your Pale Papaya. I bet Calypso Coral would be a nice accent here. Oh, and the Cinnamon Cider, look at that, pulled out a little bit in here, and again in this flower, I think. So really pretty colors, such a beautiful designer paper. And what I did was I made here a sampler, like I've done with my other cards and videos that I've been showing. You've got what is included in the suite. So there's no ribbon in the suite, but it doesn't need it because you can use a bunch of our ribbons that we have listed in the back of the catalog. Because there are so many colors, there are so many options. Here you see this scalloped border that I was talking about, very pretty. You could make a nice edge for a card with that, or just a nice accent on a card. These are the 2 images that I talked about. You can see that right there. And then, of course, This, I don't even think I said, oh yes, Highland Heather. You could probably use Gorgeous Grape as well. This is the die cut that I was talking about. So pretty. And even the pale papaya. Very, very pretty colors. Very soft, very feminine. Let me show you the card we're going to make. I thought this was a very elegant card. So I've already embossed it in silver, and I'm going to show you a special trick just to kind of bring it up, step it up a notch when you're making your card. I've stamped the congratulations and my images. I'm going to use the soft sea foam. And the other color that wasn't listed was the fresh freesia. So we're going to do that, and we're going to make a very pretty wedding card here. I have here, I'm only using 4 stamps to fill in this. I've got 2 flowers. I've got the larger flower, and then I've got the smaller one. And then I've got 2 leaves as well. And I'm going to do the leaves in just a second. This one keeps wanting to fall off. If you find that your stamps are falling off your blocks, not sticking anymore, wash them with some Dawn dish detergent and it'll put the stick right back on them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of line this up. And you don't need to line it up exactly because it's very, very watercolor and kind of random. So I've got that color, and I'm going to do the flower yet as well. And you can do either direction. I kind of feel like this. Maybe I'll try it in this direction and see if it matches up a little bit better. Tiny bit. Doesn't matter if you color outside the lines. This is your opportunity to do that. So I've got my fresh freesia that I'm done with. I'm going to use the soft sea foam. And I bet you're thinking, okay, what leaves match? I've got this leaf and I've got this leaf. Well, I found that because it's kind of random, they all kind of match. I'm going to put that there. That's one. Got another big leaf. Look at that. It matches kind of nice. Then I think I still even might have a third big leaf right there. The stamp right there. Look at that. And then right here is a little leaf. Let's just fill it in with this little leaf. There we go. And then you're probably thinking, that doesn't color it all in. I don't really care for that. Well, if you don't care for that, you can use your soft seafoam blend and kind of fill in a little bit of the spaces. So I'm just gonna not do too great of a job, just a little bit. And this is my light. I probably should have had the dark to match a little bit better, and maybe I'll go back over that. But all I'm doing is coloring the stem a little bit, and there we go. I told you I was going to take it up a notch, so let me show you something that's special that we're going to do. I'm going to move my stamps and inks out of the way, and what I want to do is emboss this a little bit just to make a nice special edge. What I'm going to do is bring in my scoreboard, and I am going to emboss around the edge at 3/8 of an inch. And 1/2 inch all the way around. 3/8, that's your third line, and 1/2 inch. I'm going to do that again on this side. 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 inch. And once more, 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 inch. And look at that beautiful pattern. I don't know if you can see that. Just a little bit of something. It just brings it up a notch. Just subtly adding a little bit of something extra. So now what I'm going to do is just attach this to my Fresh Freesia card mat. This is probably 3/16 of an inch larger than my basic white, which is 3 3/4 inches by 5. You don't need a lot of glue. I keep a set of straight pins close by so I can uncork that every once in a while when it gets a little sticky. Okay, and then I've got my thick Whisper White card base. What I'm going to do is just crease that edge a little bit more. And I'm going to add this to my card base. And here you have a beautiful and simple wedding card all ready to go. Let me show you the 2 other cards that I made using this stamp set. This is one of them. This one, you'll see I colored it with the blends. So instead of randomly stamping it and filling in the lines with the stamps, I used my blends, my Night of Navy and my Pale Papaya and my Soft Succulent to color in my leaves, the dark and the light, giving the shading. And then I used my Genial Gems in the centers of the card right there. Thanks. And then this is just a fancy fold card, and it's not much of anything. It's just a tiny bit cut off the edge. So I've got my 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock, scored at 4 1/4, and then I only cut off 1 inch. And then I've got a strip of paper. This is another great way to use your scraps, and it accents the inside of your card very nicely. A lot of times I like to add just a scrap either along the side or along the bottom. This is really pretty, and it kind of coordinates a little bit. Don't you just love the polka dots? And of course the Pale Papaya ribbon is so beautiful, and it ties like a dream. So I added just a narrower piece of designer paper. This is one of the cards we'll be making in the card class down the road. We have so many classes to do because there are so many options with this catalog. And here's my last card. And there was nothing much to this one either. I stamped in a tone on tone. This is Misty Moonlight. I stamped flowers in the corners, just a little bit of something instead of doing any embossing with an embossing folder or whatever. I've got my petal pink base, and I used the petal pink ribbon, which hasn't retired yet. This is really, really pretty ribbon too, and it matches very, very nicely with this. Remember, I said there are no ribbons that are part of this suite, but it doesn't matter because there's so many options. The Soft Succulent ribbon that is the new in color would go really well with this, as would the Fresh Freesia. I just stamped a little label. This is one of the labels from Tasteful Touches. And then, of course, this is a designer paper. I took a whole piece of paper, cut off the bottom, and flipped it. And that gave me 2 different colors. So feel better, friend. What a great sentiment. What a great wish to send to somebody. And then of course we have this one. I did it here as well. And you can see I added some opal rounds. That was my first go around, but I don't have the opal rounds next to me. And I'm almost wondering if the Genial Gems would look really nice with this too. So we'll have to try that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me in getting to know this fabulous suite. I hope you love it as much as I do. Don't be intimidated, and like I said, you're allowed to color outside of the lines. So have fun. Have a great day.